Before we go on to this year's awards, I'd like to acknowledge some of our previous award recipients, two of whom starred in the prior video. Please, if you would all just stand for a sec as I read your names. John Godine's not here tonight. His father passed away this week at the age of 101, so John will not be with us this evening. Hassan Razari. Dan Duty. A.K. Goodman. Okay. Norbert Liebsch. And I think I saw Laura Riley also. Is Laura here? Guess not. Sorry, Laura's not with us. So this year we had 94 nominations. You've seen their pictures up on the screen during dinner. I appreciate everyone who took the time to make a nomination. The names of all the nominees are in the dinner program. We made a few changes in the way that we go through the process of making our decisions this year. We decided to group physicians so that we would have a more or less even distribution across the institution over time. So everyone was placed into 3 practice categories, and we give 3 awards now henceforth. The second difference, which I think is a wonderful outcome of the last dinner, that I want to thank Ira Stepanian and his wife Jackie for, is that we're also giving a cash award with each gift now, and did so also for the previous recipients. Ira and Jackie have been volunteers and ambassadors for the MGH for decades. He approached me after the last dinner and asked if he could make a gift to endow this award and to perpetuate MGPO physician recognition efforts. We have established an endowment in Ira and Jackie's name. This reflects their great dedication and commitment to supporting the careers and the futures and fortunes of all of you here in this room. And I want to thank Ira and Jackie for that. As you saw in the credits, I also made a gift to help support the cost of this video, which involved a little transatlantic travel. Frankly, I don't know if we'll ever want to make another video. I think it'll be hard to ever come up to this standard. And I want to thank again everyone who worked on it, especially Steve Rourke and Deborah Colton. So now we're up to the point where we're going to announce this year's awards. The way that we've done this in the past, and we'll do again this year, is that we've asked one of the folks that wrote a nominating letter for the 3 awardees to come up, read an excerpt from the letters, and then we'll have each awardee come up and be given the award. And if the awardees would please stay at the stage so that we can take a photo of all 3 together at the end, I would greatly appreciate it. So the first person that we're going to have come up and read on behalf of the first McGovern Award recipient is Dr. Tom Delaney. Tom directs the Proton Beam Therapy Center and will read about this year's first winner.
Thank you, Torch. I am delighted that this physician is one of the recipients of the Brian McGovern Clinical Excellence Award, and honored that Torch has given me the opportunity to read sections from the nomination letters written about him. These excerpts are as follows. He brings the entire staff into the relationship, making the whole environment a nurturing one. He is a truly caring human, not just compassionate, but truly interested in people. He is a gifted surgeon, willing to take on the most difficult cases, in particular challenging bone and soft tissue tumors involving the spine, trunk, pelvis, and extremities. He has both good hands and good judgment. He has the remarkable attributes of being both a leader and a respected colleague. He embodies the multidisciplinary spirit of patient care, actively seeking input from others, but also willing to take charge of an individual patient's care when coordination of complicated care is essential. He exemplifies the best in patient care by being aware of the benefits and risks of not only his own surgical treatments, but alternative treatments of his medical, radiation oncology, interventional radiology, and surgical colleagues. He always supports the best treatment approach for the patient, regardless of whether that involves his own operative skills or not. It gives me great pleasure to announce that Fran Hornacek is the Surgical Services recipient of the 2007 McGovern Clinical Excellence Award.
Our next presenter will be Dr. Mindy Sherman from the Pediatric Emergency Service.
I want to say I'm very bad at reading emails. I found out I was presenting about 5 minutes ago. I wouldn't have had the third glass of wine, let alone the second glass of wine. But it is a great honor for me to introduce Pat O'Malley. I wanted to digress one moment, just because looking at the video brought a lot of feelings. I was a medical student when the brilliant, beautiful Ann Jennings was a senior at New England Medical Center. And Dr. Brian McGovern, the handsome, very witty, brilliant, lovely accent doctor, would come courting. It was quite the story for a number of years. He was very impressive. And later, my best friend, who's now on the transplant list for cardiac, Brian McGovern was his cardiologist, and I was very relieved. And unfortunately, after Brian died, I was still relieved that one of the first recipients of the prize, Dr. Hassan Bazari, still remains his internist. But to Pat O'Malley, who is quite a remarkable woman, it is a pleasure to read from the nominations for this position. She is, quote, she is one of those rare physicians who's not only great at the care skills of her discipline, but kicks it up a notch by raising the ethical standard of all around her. She is warm, thoughtful, committed, humble, and a great collaborator. She is calm within the storm. Everyone knows that she is a person you hope to have at your side when you're caring for a critically ill child. She floats easily between running codes and shepherding end-of-life discussions. For her, there is no contradiction. Her job is exceedingly tough because most of her patients have never met her before and under lots of stress. She, without fail, is sympathetic, warm, supportive, and professional. Her competence is without peer. She recognizes that caring for the human spirit is an integral part of her work. She treats patients with a quiet, uplifting sense of humor, immeasurable compassion and empathy, and a knack for preserving their dignity. It is my great pleasure to announce that my friend, colleague, and mentor, Patricia O'Malley, is a recipient of the 2007 Brian McGovern Clinical Excellence Award, representing the non-medical and non-surgical services.
Our final award will be presented by Ann Young, who is our Chief of Neurology.
Well, I'm pleased to have the opportunity to read from the letter nominating this physician for the Brian McGovern Clinical Excellence Award. Some of the excerpts are, he has the warmest, most calming bedside manner of any physician in this great hospital. Despite being a great font of medical knowledge, he is amazingly humble and a patient listener. He obviously loves to spend time with patients, to get involved and find out what is going on, no matter how much time and effort it takes. He never forgets the patient's fears and concerns. His experience in even the rarest clinical cases seems tremendous and makes diagnosis of rare syndromes seem easier than it is for anybody else. He is also one of the greatest teacher clinicians, going through important details in history and exam, for example, to try and figure out the puzzle. He is the doctor you want your ill family member to see. He is the sage with whom you want to discuss your case. He is a combination of old school values and modern advances. In a place with an unparalleled tradition, he is the best because he knows how to help patients and he knows how to help others help patients. It is with great pleasure that I ask Gopal Venna to come up and receive the 2007 Brian McGovern Clinical Excellence Award for Medical Services.
Congratulations to Drs. Venna, O'Malley, and Hornacek. Together you personify this award in Brian's spirit. That's the end of the show. We're going to serve dessert now. I want to thank all the staff that put this together, Deb Colton, Carrie Shaw, Linda McKenzie, Mary Cunningham, Joe Feiner, and the great Carol Baker. Please enjoy the rest of the evening. Enjoy the game and the band. See you in a couple of years.